In the dusty heart of Montana, where the endless plains met the jagged Rockies, a small orphan girl named Lily stood trembling on a makeshift wooden platform in the town square. The year was 1892, and the air hung heavy with the scent of hay and desperation. At just 8 years old, Lily's wide blue eyes darted through the crowd of weathered faces, ranchers, farmers, and merchants gathered for the annual orphan auction. Sold, like Mama was, she whispered to herself, her voice cracking like dry earth underfoot. Her mother had been taken from her 2 years prior, sold off as indentured labor to settle debts after their homestead failed. Now, it was Lily's turn, or so she believed, her tiny fists clutching the hem of her faded calico dress as the auctioneer's gavel hovered like a vulture's shadow. The crowd murmured as the bidding began for the other children first, strong boys promised as farmhands, girls touted for housework. Lily watched them go, one by one, to strangers with calloused hands and indifferent eyes. Her heart pounded like a trapped bird, she had no skills to boast, no family to claim her. Abandoned at the orphanage after her mother's disappearance, she had learned to scrub floors and mend socks, but mostly, she had learned loneliness. It wrapped around her like the cold winds that swept the prairies, whispering that she was worthless, unnovable. As her name was called, Lily May, healthy and quick to learn, the auctioneer boomed, she bit her lip to stifle a sob. A few bids trickled in, low offers from families needing extra help. But then, a deep voice cut through the noise, $50. Gasps rippled through the crowd. It was Elias Hawthorne, the reclusive rancher from the vast Hawthorne spread, a man known for his solitary ways and immense wealth from cattle drives. Why would he bid so high on a scrawny girl? Lily's mind raced as the bidding escalated. Elias countered every offer with quiet determination, his weathered face impassive under his wide-brimmed hat. She had heard stories about him, whispers of a man hardened by loss, his wife and child taken by fever years ago. Was he buying her for toil, or worse? Sold, like Mama, she muttered again, tears streaming down her cheeks. The gavel fell at a staggering $100, and Elias stepped forward, his boots thudding against the dirt. The orphanage matron shoved Lily toward him, muttering about her good fortune. But as Elias knelt to her level, his eyes, stormy gray like the Montana skies, softened in a way that caught her off guard. "Come on, little one," he said gently, extending a hand scarred from years of roping steers. "Time to go home." The ride to the ranch was silent at first. Lily perched on the wagon seat beside him, her small bundle of belongings clutched in her lap. The landscape unfolded like a painting. Golden fields dotted with grazing cattle, the distant mountains standing sentinel. Elias didn't speak much, but when he did, his voice carried the weight of unspoken stories. "You ever ridden a horse?" he asked. Lily shook her head, too frightened to speak. "Nadie. We'll fix that." As they crested a hill, the ranch came into view, a sturdy log cabin with a wraparound porch, barns bustling with hens, and a garden bursting with late summer blooms. It was nothing like the grim orphanage, it felt alive, welcoming. Jet Dub nodded at Lily. "Why here?" What did he want? That first night, Elias showed her to a room upstairs, a real bedroom with a quilted bed and a window overlooking the stars. "This was my daughter's," he said softly, his voice catching. Lily froze. "Daughter." The word hung in the air like smoke. She passed on, along with her. "My fever took, and both." He cleared his throat, turning away. "You'll sleep here. Tomorrow, we'll see about chores." Lily nodded, but sleep evaded her. She lay awake, piecing together the fragments, the high bid, the room, his kindness. Was this a trick? In the orphanage, kindness always came with a price. She whispered to the darkness, "Sold, like Mama," letting the tears flow until exhaustion claimed her. Days blurred into weeks on the ranch. Elias didn't treat her like a servant, instead, he taught her with patience that surprised even his ranch hands. Mornings began with milking cows, her small hands learning the rhythm under his guidance. Afternoons, he showed her how to mend fences, explaining the land's secrets, the way the wind carried scents of rain, how the cattle knew storms before they hit. "This ranch is more than dirt and animals," he told her one evening as they watched the sun dip behind the peaks. "It's a legacy. Something to pass on." Lily began to open up, sharing snippets of her past, her mother's gentle songs, the homestead lost to drought. Elias listened, his eyes distant, as if her words stirred old memories. But uncertainty lingered. One crisp autumn day, while helping in the barn, Lily overheard two hands gossiping. "Boss paid a fortune for that girl. Reckon he's tryin' to replace little Sarah." The name hit her like a slap. Sarah, his daughter. Was that it? Was she just a stand-in, a ghost to fill the void? Her chest tightened. That night, as Elias read from an old Bible by the fire, Lily couldn't hold back. "Why'd you buy me?" she blurted, her voice trembling. "Am I just sold to be like her? Like your daughter?" Elias set the book down, his face paling. He looked at her, really looked, and in that moment, something shifted. "No, child," he said, his voice rough with emotion. "I didn't buy you to replace anyone. I bought you to save you." The truth unfolded like a river bursting its banks. Elias confessed he had known her mother, years ago, when she was a young woman working in town. They had been friends, nothing more, but he had promised to watch over her if trouble came. When he heard of her being sold into labor, he searched but arrived too late. She had vanished into the vast West. Then, at the auction, he recognized Lily's eyes, her mother's eyes. "I couldn't let it happen again," he said, tears glistening in his own. "Not to you." Lily's world tilted. An unexpected turn. This man wasn't a stranger, he was a guardian from the shadows of her past. But the profound realization came next. "I didn't just want to save you from that life," Elias continued. "I wanted to give you one. A real one. Here, with me." As winter's first snow dusted the ranch, tension built. Lily struggled with the weight of his revelation, gratitude warred with fear of attachment. What if she lost this too? One stormy night, a calf went missing in the blizzard. Elias saddled up to search, but Lily insisted on going, bundling in his old coat. They rode into the whiteout, wind howling like lost souls. Hours passed, exhaustion setting then, they found the calf, half buried and weak. Elias lifted it onto his horse, but his own strength faltered, he slipped on ice, twisting his ankle badly. "Go back, get help," he urged through gritted teeth. But Lily refused. "No," she said fiercely. "We're family now. We don't leave each other. We share will." She helped him mount, leading the horses back through the storm. It was her turn for selflessness, a mirror of his kindness. They made it home as dawn broke, the ranch hands rushing to aid. Elias, bandaged and resting by the fire, looked at Lily with pride shining in his eyes. "You saved us both tonight," he whispered. That was the climax, the transformative act. In that moment of compassion, Lily realized the power of humanity. It wasn't in grand gestures alone, but in choosing to care, to stay. Elias pulled her close. "From now on, you're not just Lily May. You're Lily Hawthorne. My daughter." The words shattered her walls. She sobbed into his shoulder, not from fear, but from overwhelming joy. "Daughter," she echoed, the title a balm to her orphan soul. A spring brought renewal to the ranch, and with it, a deeper bond. Lily thrived, riding horses like she was born to it, tending the garden her sister Sarah once loved. The townsfolk whispered of the miracle, the gruff rancher softened by a child's light. Elias, though, found healing, laughter returned to the cabin, echoes of a family reborn. One day, as they planted seeds in the thawing earth, Lily turned to him. "Papa," she said, the words slipping out naturally, "thank you for calling me daughter." He smiled, the lines on his face easing. "And thank you for making me a father again." In the vast tapestry of life, where hardship can harden hearts, acts of kindness weave threads of hope. Lily's story reminds us that selflessness isn't about what we have to give, but the humanity we choose to share. No one is truly sold or lost forever. Sometimes, all it takes is one compassionate soul to call another home. And in that calling, we find not just redemption, but the unbreakable power of love, a legacy that endures, inspiring us all to reach out, to care, and to build families not of blood, but of heart.